At two different wins, I think even nicer to win two games in two different ways, I think, early on in this season. What were your main takeaways from the 4 points that you collected over the weekend?
Yeah, obviously great, great start to get a couple wins. I thought it was awesome atmosphere. Our home opener was great to see, and I was really proud of the guys. Obviously we knew it wasn't going to be a perfect game. It was sloppy at times, but we hung with them. I thought we got better as the game went, and great goaltending from Comesso, and then same with Stans in Iowa. Obviously that was a much different game, like you said, but a lot of good building blocks for heading into the first month of the season.
Is it nice to get a weekend like that underway too, where you're leaving and bussing overnight? Maybe you're not skating before the game that morning, but you know that you're going to still get, hopefully a quality 60-minute effort. Is that good for some of the younger guys to experience right off the jump?
For sure, that's life in the minors. We're gonna have a lot of those. The 3-and-3s are back to back. You got to travel. I really thought our fourth line gave us a huge boost. Not even just because they scored, but just their identity. They set the tone right away in that game, and I thought it gave our group a shot of life. Yeah, it was fun. It kind of the guys, fed off it, and it was kind of a complete team effort.
I know the team is young, but would you say that they maybe exceeded your expectations for what you thought would be the opening weekend performance?
No, I wouldn't say exceeded. I mean, we're not, like I said. I mean, that first game could have went either way. That's why I'm not going to be measure on wins and losses, especially early in the season, just the process. But there's lots of teaching in both games. But very pleased to come out with a win. I'm not going to go home and think that we've arrived. We have a long ways to go.
Talk a little bit more about Stanislav, and I know you've only been around him a short time, but just the impression he's already made on you in terms of not just his skill set, but the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, great natured kid. Obviously doesn't know much English, but he's always smiling, and you can tell he's a hockey junkie. But he's he loves to laugh and slowly picking up different words in English. But you can see he's an athlete. He's a monster. He's big body, moves really well. We're excited to have him.
And I know the expectations are high for the future of Oliver, and he has a great game for you on Sunday. Let's talk a little bit about how well and quickly he has adapted to the pro level and how smoothly the adjustment seems to have gone so far for him.
Yeah, Oliver did great. I'm not even mentioning, obviously he finished on a couple of those goals. It was really, I thought he did well in his compete, which is always consistent with Oliver. It's going to be a process for him. Definitely, he's got a lot to work on with any prospect. He's a really humble kid, wants to be coached, shows up every day, and he's difficult to play against. You see with his speed, but I thought he did really well in our D zone and trying to play to the things that we value here.
What do you think changed in between the first and second game, just in terms of the stronger offensive attack, especially in the first period?
It's a good question. It's a different opponent, obviously, it's another game. I thought we just executed a little bit more in the offensive zone, and then probably had some more chances. Milwaukee really clogged up, and they're a veteran team known for limiting scoring chances. It's a good question, though. I'm sure Iowa's going to be a really good opponent. They always play us tough, so I think it was just a matter of execution and just another game of getting experience with each other.
How important is it to have a guy like Boucher on this team who brings that physicality? Because you got so many great skilled players here, but how badly does a hockey team need a guy like Boucher?
You need players with all different roles. It's not just Boucher, but I thought Engelbert and Millimuck, they made it clear what their identity was. But yeah, when they get it in the forecheck, especially Bouch, he's a bowling ball, and he's done great. Obviously he produced offensively, but yes, it does. Gives the team confidence to have something like that in your lineup. What I like about him, he's really humble. It's not about him; he's doing it for the team, and he's playing the game the right way too. He's been reliable with the puck, playing within our structure. Same with Millimuck and Engelbert. It was a really good week for them.
Lastly, perfect on the penalty kill, and then you get that power play goal towards the tail end in Iowa, which was really nice play going east-west. What do you think of your special teams this weekend, which is something I think is fair to say that you give a little time into the season to get cooking?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really pleased with the PK. I think Josh McNevin's done a really good job early communicating the structure, and guys are bought in. And that's another thing, just because we didn't get scored on, there's lots of teaching. You know, it wasn't perfect. And then, Rob Klinkhammer, this is his 4th year doing the PP. He's been great. I think it's just that's a good example. Like, power play is going to take some time, find chemistry, but it was good to see them execute and find the back of the net.